This week I've been driving the all-new 4Runner from Toyota, and this isn't just any 4Runner, this is the all-new Trailhunter trim of the 4Runner, which is really exciting. And we all know that the 4Runner is Toyota's go-anywhere SUV, very capable. I've had a lot of experience with the 4Runner over the years, the previous generation and even the generation before that. So like any of you enthusiasts out there, I was skeptical with Toyota completely redoing the shape, redoing the engine and powertrain. But I think with the year that it's been out, it's definitely proven itself to be capable. We'll still have to see on long-term reliability. But obviously I'm a big fan of the 4Runner, and I drove the new version of the 4Runner, not the Trailhunter trim, back in the spring and gave some of my first impressions on it there if you're interested in that. I also drove the Trailhunter version of the Tacoma, basically this with a truck bed, if you're interested in that. And I'll give you a little bit of my thoughts on which one I would choose after driving both. But I'm sure you've seen a lot of off-roading and things like that throughout the year that this thing has been out and people have been reviewing it. And again, it's more than capable for that, but what is it like to live with day to day? Is it a good family vehicle? I've been driving this one for a week. I've had the family in there, done grocery runs in here, hauled stuff in here, did small road trips with this thing. We've put some miles on it. We've put it through the paces of daily life. So let's talk about all of it. I'm Adam, this is Texas Garage. Let's get into it. All right, before we get into this one specifically, let's quickly touch on the trims available for 2025 for the all-new 4Runner. And they are similar to the trims that you got on the outgoing 4Runner, just with the new body and everything that comes with it. We still have the SR5 as the baseline trim. Jumping up from that is the TRD Sport. Then you have a TRD Sport Premium, a TRD Off-Road, a TRD Off-Road Premium. Are you getting the consistency here? Then we have the Limited, and then an all-new trim of the Platinum, the Hardcore TRD Pro, and this one, the Trailhunter, which is an overlanding vehicle. So the TRD Pro is what you would get for hardcore off-roading. The Trailhunter is an overlanding vehicle, which will do some off-roading, but has tweaks that make it better for what overlanders need. With that, let's dive into the exterior of this thing. For 2025, the Toyota 4Runner finally gets the full redesign that the fans have been wanting, including me. The last generation ran for more than a decade, but Toyota smartly didn't throw out what people loved. The new model still looks like a 4Runner, tough, boxy, and upright, but with sharper lines, a more planted stance, and a front end that ties nicely with the new Tacoma and Tundra. It's a look that feels familiar and fresh at the same time, bolder, more sculpted, and a lot more refined in the details. The signature power rear window returns, the body-on-frame construction stays, and overall proportions are still unmistakably 4Runner, just updated for the modern age. Where things really get interesting is with the Trailhunter trim. This is Toyota's first factory-built overlanding 4Runner, designed for people who actually plan to venture off the beaten path. From the outside, you can spot it instantly. It sits higher thanks to old Man Emu suspension components, rolls on bronze 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in all-terrain tires, and wears a unique bronze Toyota Heritage grille with an integrated LED light bar. And those amber lights aren't just a gimmick. Amber lights are scientifically proven with the wavelengths to cut through fog and dust better than the white lights. So when you see people driving down the road or highway with their amber fog lights on, just know that they don't know what they're doing. But if you're out on a trail and you really need to see what's going on, cut those amber fog lights on and they'll do a much better job. You also get a Trailhunter steel front skid plate and a high-mounted air intake, better known as the snorkel, jutting proudly from the fender. Up top, the Trailhunter comes with an ARB roof rack, perfect for mounting gear, storage, or a rooftop tent. And there's even an onboard air compressor tucked away for airing up tires after a long day on the trail. The look is purposeful, not flashy, like something built for a national parks expedition rather than a mall parking lot. Every inch of the exterior says this trim was built to go further, stay out longer, and handle whatever comes next. Visually, it's awesome. It's got all the right parts, nothing too flashy. Toyota took a lot of feedback from actual consumers that actually do overlanding, and it shows. Out back, you get the hands-free power liftgate, and keeping with 4Runner tradition, a power rear window. That window is a 4Runner signature, and I still love it. Cargo room is one of this rig's superpowers. It offers about 42.6 cubic feet of cargo volume behind the second row. With the rear seats folded down, that expands to approximately 82.6 cubic feet. We were moving stuff around during the week that I had this, and I had it completely packed with a bunch of junk. It swallows everything you want without drama, which is exactly what you want from a 4Runner, but specifically an Overlander. This Trailhunter runs on Toyota's iForce Max hybrid engine. It's a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4 plus electric help for 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. It's part-time 4-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer case, an 8-speed automatic, and a locking rear diff. Toyota's crawl control and multi-terrain select are on board, and you can disconnect the front stabilizer bar for articulation. The headline is torque here. It moves with authority. Getting up to speed is easy. Passing is easy. Climbing grades, no sweat. All right, we're here in the interior. Lots new to get to. So let me give you a good look around. All right, first off, that 14-inch, very large infotainment screen. Lots to dive into. Their full new menu system that Toyota has works really well. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity in here. And again, after a week with this thing and weeks with other vehicles with the same system for over a year now, it works really good. Below that, you have your AC vents, a physical volume knob, AC and heat controls, including heated and cooled seats and heated steering wheel button. All chunky, easy to hit physical buttons. You're not relying on just the touch screen. Here we have a wireless phone charger and a little bit of a cubby with 2 USB Type-C charging ports and an accessory port. Traditional gear shifter, put it into reverse. You do get a full 360 camera view. You can put this into automatic mode, so when you slow down, it will automatically turn on the cameras. Great for off-roading or overlanding. Not great for day-to-day driving though, so I do have it turned off. And you can engage that camera with the camera button here. You also have electronic parking brake, auto hold button, and then your big knob for a lot of different things. So you can shift here from 2-wheel high to 4-wheel high to 4-wheel low. You can see right now we're in drive mode select, so when we shift this, you can see we can shift from sport to normal to eco mode. I've been driving it mostly in eco mode, a little bit normal, and we'll check out sport as well. You can also tap these buttons here. Now we're in tow haul mode, DAC crawl mode, MTS. A lot of great functions right here in this dial, and it's nice and big and chunky and easy to maneuver. Back here we do have a trailer backup guide. Again, your camera view, locking the rear diff, and disconnecting the stabilizer bar. We have our cup holders. Armrest is super squishy, at least right here, but back here where my elbow hits most of the time is actually a little bit harder. Cubby's not super deep, but decent. Steering wheel is electronically adjustable with a little knob on the side, which is nice. Lots of arrays of buttons for everything from cruise control to messing with your driver information screen and your audio. And that driver information screen is fully digital. Like we saw, as you change drive modes, it changes a bit. You can flip through different views here depending on what you want to see. We do not get a head-up display in this vehicle. You do get some Trailhunter badges, Toyota badge on this like rock-like trim piece. Really nice seats, very comfortable. Grayish green leather with this orange piping. Looks really good, specific to the Trailhunter trim. And overall, the cabin looks really nice. We also do have a 14-speaker JBL audio system, and the speaker that pops out and can be Bluetooth and use on a campsite, which is always cool. Rear view mirror is the backup camera. You can flip it to either. No sunroof, no panoramic moonroof in this thing, but you do have those roof rails we looked at that you put crossbars and tents up there and all kinds of stuff. Back seats are plenty large. I did have kids 3 wide back here, no issues. And as you saw, we had the seats folded down and had this thing packed full of junk as we were moving some stuff this week. So again, a ton of stuff going on in the interior. If you are using this thing for a family runner, the interior is not going to be your issue at all, unless you need 3 rows. In that case, you want to get either the 4Runner with 3 rows or another vehicle. But let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road and talk about how it is to drive. On road, the Trailhunter is easy to live with in most ways. Steering is light but confident. That 8-speed transmission behaves beautifully on the road. Power comes on strong. It's a fun truck to drive. Again, I had this for a full week. I did all the normal daily runs that we do. We did grocery shopping in it. I had the kids in the back seats. I had it packed full of stuff. I used the radar guided cruise control and lane keeping assist on the highway and on just a long back farm to market road in Texas. All worked great and all made the driving experience just phenomenal for the week. The one part that does bug me the most is the snorkel noise, and I have heard other people say the same thing. Now, if you're an enthusiast and you're using this thing like an enthusiast, that noise might be cool to you. It might just fit in with everything you're trying to do. But for day-to-day driving, having the family in here, that whooshing noise is a bit annoying. What's not annoying is the fuel economy you get out of that iForce Max setup. EPA rated at 23 miles per gallon city, 24 highway with a 23 mpg combined. Those don't sound like stellar numbers, but when you're talking about an off-roading vehicle like this, those are really good numbers. And I was easily hitting 19.4 to 20 miles per gallon during my week. And while that's under the 23 combined number, we push these things a little bit harder, let them idle a little bit longer. But even at 19 miles per gallon, that's way better than what we were getting with the previous generation. When it comes to off-roading, I didn't take this specific trim or this specific vehicle really off-road. We took it down some dirt paths, some small trails, but there's no doubt that this thing is super capable. The gear list says it all. E-locker, crawl control, multi-terrain select, stabilizer disconnect, old Man Emu suspension, Sirius lighting, compressor, armor, the works. It's definitely taking a vehicle that was built for some off-roading and making it an overlanding monster, and I love it. All right, and if there's been one consistent thing I've heard throughout the time that they've announced this, and even people getting in and reviewing it, is criticism on the price. You're getting a factory-built overlanding vehicle. It's going to be expensive, but even compared to other things in the market, this thing is pretty expensive. Base MSRP for the Trailhunter is about $66,000. Mine, as tested, was over $69,000, almost $70,000. So yeah, it's a lot of money. But if you're building up one of these things, you're putting in a lot of money and time and effort into it. So there are trade-offs there. And if you're looking at a base 4Runner, the SR5 starts at just over $40,000. So adding $20,000 to $30,000 on top of that, you're doing a lot there. Looking at some competition, we do have the Ford Bronco. You have the Badlands Bronco. That's kind of more of an off-roading / overlanding trim. The Bronco can be noisy on the highways with its roof and has some other quirks, but is cheaper than this, even with the Badlands trim. Obviously, the Jeep Wrangler is an off-roading king, and even at some of its higher trims is cheaper than this, unless you're trying to get the Hemi one, which I don't recommend. You also have things like the Land Rover Defender, which I loved and drove and looks fantastic. Definitely worth looking at if you're looking at this, and ends up being really close in price. Another vehicle close in price is also very closely related to this, and that's the Land Cruiser from Toyota. Same platform, same powertrain. It's just made for a little bit more luxury in your life. So if you're driving this day to day on the road and not really taking it serious off-roading a lot, because that Land Cruiser can do some really good off-roading that can be cheaper or around the same kind of money as this, just depending again on exactly what you're looking for. If you're just cruising around town, that might be the better option. But let me jump out and I'll give you some of my final thoughts on this, and we'll wrap it up there. So at the end of the week, the end of the day, what are my thoughts on this 4Runner? Toyota definitely took what was great about the 4Runner, its ruggedness, its good looks, and its capability, and they just amped it up. The hybrid powertrain is much more sophisticated and much better feeling for day-to-day driving than the outgoing engine. Obviously, I wasn't a huge fan of the snorkel sound for day-to-day driving. If you're using this thing as an enthusiast vehicle, it can be cool, but for day-to-day with the family, it can be annoying in my opinion. That said, the hybrid powertrain gives you better gas mileage. The 8-speed transmission just makes driving it so much easier day to day. But obviously the reliability long term hasn't been tested on this engine setup. Toyota is known for the reliability, but that old V6 engine was just tried and true and was a beast. So I get all the criticisms of the powertrain in here. That being said, from what I've experienced, it's pretty solid. Only time will tell. But everything outside of that, the looks, the technology, the comfort, the ruggedness, easy to recommend this thing as your go-to. Whether you're getting a lower end trim and doing some light off-roading, whether you're doing some overlanding, or you want to go with the TRD Pro and do some major off-roading. Obviously that sticker price for this one specifically is pretty high, but you're getting a lot from the factory. I am a big fan of the new Land Cruiser looks, and you can actually get one of those cheaper than this. So again, it's trade-offs and what you're trying to do there, I guess. But for me, again, it gets the Texas seal of approval, and that should mean something. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the 4Runner, especially this Trailhunter version of it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We do a different review every week. Lots of great content on here. Lots of stuff from the truck rodeo event that we went to for off-roading, if you want to see that. Also, don't forget to check out TXGARAGE.com, where we've got a lot of written reviews as well as event and news coverage from a lot of great authors over there, not just myself. Really worth checking out, TXGARAGE.com. With that, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching.